Welcome back. There is a lot of focus on the beef industry right now, and it's not all good news. Bill Bullard of RCAF USA joins us live now to discuss the cattle industry and their MCool labeling issues. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Bill.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So if you can, tell us why the product labeling process is so important.
Well, we import beef from about 20 different countries, and all the beef in the grocery store has a USDA inspection sticker on it, leading producers to believe it must be produced by the American ranchers. But that's not the case at all. About 20% of this beef in the grocery stores is derived from about 20 countries, such as Namibia, Africa, Brazil, Argentina, Honduras, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Australia, Mexico, Canada. And consumers deserve to know where their food comes from and deserves a choice in the marketplace to determine which country they wish to support when they're buying their food products. In other words, with a mandatory country of origin labeling, American consumers could support the American rancher. Without the country of origin labeling practice, then the meat packers can source that beef from any country in the world that they want to, bring it into the United States and pass it off to unsuspecting consumers as if it were a domestic product. So this is really a right-to-know piece of legislation that we're pursuing.
So what do you think consumers will, if they'll behave differently if they know where their meat's coming from?
Well, certainly, because right now there's obviously a push to begin supporting American supply chains, and the live cattle supply chain is the largest segment of American agriculture, generating about $67 billion annually. That means the cattle industry is extremely important to the economic viability of all of rural America. And as a result, American consumers wanting to support the American economy can only do so if they could choose to purchase beef that was produced by the American cattle producer. And without country of origin labeling, again, they can't do that. And instead, the multinational meat packers can source this beef and these cattle from foreign countries. And because they're buying it cheaper, they make windfall profits on that product at the expense of consumers on one end of the supply chain and cattle producers on the other.
What monopolies are there in the packing industry?
I beg your pardon?
What monopolies are there in the packing industry?
Well, our industry is one of the most highly concentrated industries in all of the American economy. We have 4 major meat packers that control 85% of all of our fed cattle industry. Those are cattle that are produced for beef production. So that means U.S. cattle producers that produce about 26 million head of cattle a year, 85% of those are controlled by just 4 dominant multinational meat packers. And that inherently creates a marketplace that is subject and prone to anti-competitive behavior and abuses.
What can you tell us about the petition that you guys are working on?
Well, we realized that consumers wanted to know where their beef came from. So we initiated a petition about 30 days ago, and that petition calls on the President and Congress to immediately implement mandatory country of origin labeling for beef, for pork, and for dairy products. And in less than 30 days, we've had nearly 390,000 consumers and producers have joined that petition, and that's at www.demandUSAbeef.com.
Bill, thank you so much for telling us about this MCool labeling issue going on in the beef industry. We really appreciate your time.